Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever the time is with you. First of all, I want to say perfect timing. I was watching the Wimbledon. I'm a massive tennis fan. And Norrie was playing the Belgian guy in for a semi-final place in Wimbledon. And I was thinking, please, can this match end before my show? And it has done. And not only that, we won. Woohoo! Doesn't happen very often for us Brits. So we're now in the semi-final or the singles, the men's final of Wimbledon. Yes, it was a cracking game. Sorry, enough about Wimbledon. That's not what my show is about, but I just wanted to put that in there, that it's always good to do. So I think it was last week I was talking about protecting ourselves from negative people and that sort of thing. But I wanted to take the protection a little bit further this week and talk about it generally, because when we work spiritually, we do need to make sure that we are protected. That is both from spirit that's passed, but also energies on this side of life. And this is probably one of the most important things to realize, that not everybody that passed was lovely in reality. They might say that they were lovely at the funeral, but in reality, not everybody was. Otherwise, everybody that would be walking this earth would be beautiful people. And I'd love to say that that was the case, but we all know it's different. So it's not about just people that's passed, but also people that are here. And the problem is that sometimes when we've been through a very, very stressful time or a very busy time, or we may have had a bereavement, we may have had a breakup in a relationship, that could be at work or at home. It could just be that you've broken up with your best friend. It doesn't have to be in a one-to-one. You could have had a massive falling out with your daughter or your mother or your father or whatever it might be. And that actually can put us in quite a vulnerable place. And what it can do is open us up to other issues that we never actually had before, but suddenly everything becomes a bit of an issue. So when I teach on my basic, on my awakening course, which is the first course that I do, we do about things like grounding, and protection is one of the things we spend quite a lot of time on, because invariably there are people sitting in that room that suddenly realize, actually, I'm not very protected. And the problem you have is that when you work with spirit, you're very open and very empathetic to what's going on in the world and what's going on around you. But that can become too empathetic. In other words, we can be starting to take on too much. So I wanted to talk about a few signs that would let you know that you are unprotected at the moment and probably need to address that. So a couple of the things I wanted to talk about was feeling drained or tired all the time. You know that feeling when you've slept all night and you wake up and feel like you haven't slept at all, but actually the clock tells you different and you haven't actually woken? That's a sure sign that you're a bit unprotected, because it means that without you realizing it, your energy is being drained even when you sleep, which can easily happen when we're not protected, because energies and spirits work through the night just the same as they do through the day. And don't forget, your nighttime could be my daytime. So it means, in a way, the world never sleeps, and nor does spirit. So they can penetrate you on when you're asleep and can take that energy from you. So if you're starting to feel like that, then it could be that you need to address that because you're unprotected. Another one as well is nightmares. If you are having nightmares on a regular basis, then very good chance again that you're unprotected, because this is again when spirit can penetrate you. Often loved ones can come to us when we're dreaming, and people say, "Oh, I had a dream about my mum." And it could be a dream, or it could be actually that she physically visited you at that time. And the reason she can do that is because it's the time when your mind is at its stillest. You're not thinking about your job tomorrow, what you've got to do, because you're actually sleeping. So it's a time when spirit can penetrate you both in a good way, but also in a bad way. So if you're having nightmares, it means that you're unprotected and you've got too much going on in your head all the time. And obviously it's a way that they can penetrate you when you're asleep. Another thing to look out for is that you become very easily influenced by other people. Now, an example is you rock into work on a Monday morning, you've had a lovely weekend with your friends, your family, or whatever, and it's been really joyful. And you start to talk about that when you're having a cup of coffee. And the miserable guy or the miserable girl comes in and she starts, oh, this company is not a good place to work for. This is wrong. That's wrong. We're all going to lose our jobs. Da, da, da. And before you know it, you're feeling like rubbish because you're getting drawn into their negativity and the way that they feel about things. And when actually you felt perfectly fine about everything 5 minutes beforehand. And believe me, somebody like that can bring the energy of a place down in no time at all. But also, we can get easily influenced in other ways. I've actually known people that have had a perfectly good relationship or marriage and a good situation, but their friend is going through a difficult time. And because they're so unprotected, before they realize it, they're starting to question their own relationship, their own situation, and actually start to take on those issues, which they never had in the first place. And so it's very easy to become influenced by other people. And before you know it, it's not your thoughts, it's not your life, it's other things that's going on. So that's another sure sign that you're probably unprotected and need a little bit of protection. And it's something to think about because we don't always notice it straight away. But suddenly it's like, hang on a minute, this time a few weeks ago, I was fine. And what has changed? And it's a good thing to always sit and do and look at your own life and say, well, what has changed? Because if nothing's actually changed, then it's other people just influencing you. One thing to probably stay away from if you are feeling unprotected is social media, because social media can be positive and can be very negative as well. And the weirdest thing about social media is if you're feeling a bit unprotected and a bit down, even the happiest of situations, somebody celebrating a birthday or going on a lovely holiday, you could interpret that, well, everything good is happening for them and nothing good is happening for me. So, but social media is a place where, I don't know, everybody feels like they've got to say something today. They've got to have an opinion. Not quite sure what that's all about. If I'm your friend on Facebook, I'm your friend. I don't particularly care who you vote for, what your political interests are, whether you think the government should be shot, whether they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. I'm much more interested in how you are doing, what your family's like, are we getting together? That's the sort of things I'm interested in. But people do suddenly use social media as a massive platform to have their say. And I'm always amazed when somebody puts on something nice, I don't know, about somebody's dress or something, and then somebody starts to say something negative, like, I don't know, they bought it from so-and-so. And it's like, who cares? Why do you have to say something negative? But unfortunately, people do. And so social media is a great thing to stay away from if you're feeling a little bit unprotected. But also the news. The news only tell you really negative stuff. That's their job. They're not going to tell you anything good because that's not really what they're there for. But also they can slant it any way that they want. And one thing I discovered when I was on holiday, because I don't listen to the news a lot, but particularly when I'm on holiday, I don't listen to it at all. But one thing that did come apparent was a lot of the issues we're having in the UK are also happening in America, in Canada, across the world. So everybody's going through this change to do with fuel, to do with energy, all these other things, and the cost of living and a potential recession. And so often we're in it together, but they make you feel like you're going through it alone. And if you are struggling and money is tight, you start to become a little bit overwhelmed with it, and then that becomes a real problem. So although it's reality and we have to deal with it, usually there's more than one way to skin a cat, and there will be other options there. We just can't see them, and they're never going to give you the good options on the telly, so on the TV. So it's worth, coming off social media, coming off TV. But these are the signs that you need to look out for. So I've told you what we need to look out for. I haven't told you everything because I will cover it in a lot more detail on my course. However, things that we can do to make us feel a little bit better is we can wear protective clothing. So I don't know if you know so colors colors are protective. So things like gold is a really good color. It's a very spiritual color, and it's a very strong metal. It's very strong, but the color of gold is very strong. Silver is also very protective. Purple or a violet color if you ever look at a lot of spiritual stuff, the purple and that is around because that is connected to your third eye and your spiritual connection. So any of those colors are very strong, and that would give you a better connection on a pure level rather than letting bad energies in. So that's one thing that we can do. The other thing we can do is, keep ourselves fit and well. Go to the gym or go for a walk or do whatever you can within your capabilities. Try to eat a reasonable diet, and that will help with some of those things. There are other things we can do as well, but certainly there are things to that will help you along the process. But as I say, if you're interested in finding out any more about the courses I run and about protection, you can email me at inquiries@lesleycarver.co.uk, and I can pick up that email and add you to the list of people that want to know about the courses, because I am going to be doing them on Zoom as well as face-to-face. Or you can send me a message through my Facebook, which is Lesley Carver, Psychic Medium, and I will again add you to the list for any courses coming up. Great. So now I think I have got a caller. Is it Stacey? I don't know where she was from, but is it Stacey?
Yes, ma'am.
Louise. Hello from Louisiana. Hello, Stacey. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. How can I help you today?
Well, I was wondering if you speak with the deceased.
Yes, I do. And is it linked to your mum that you wanted to be connected to?
My grandmother.
Okay. She comes through as like a mother for you. Can I ask you, was the bond really strong, more like a mother connection?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. She's coming through. She was straight here with me, my love, as soon as you said, and she says mother's here. But she came through as mother rather than grandmother. So one
yes,
thing,
because
she's
that's what she really was to me. Because
So she
raised
brought
us
you up?
like,
Fabulous. Okay. She's a very strong energy, and I feel a little bit woozy. Do you understand what I mean by woozy? She's coming. Can you tell me, was she very poorly at the end?
Was she very poorly?
Yes. At the end of her
Yes.
life, was she? Yeah. Because I feel really interesting. We've just been talking about protection. She came in so quickly. She kind of took my energy, and I felt a little bit woozy. She's apologizing to me, love her. She said, I just wanted to be here. Now, she talks about 6 people that are important.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
There's 6 of you, or there were 6 of you?
What was that now?
She talks about there's 6 people that was important to her. So I'm trying to understand, was there 6 children, or did she have 6 children? I don't know. She talks about 6 people.
It has to be 4 grandkids, and she has 2 kids.
Okay, perfect. So 6 people that are really, you understand why I'm getting the 6 people. I have to say she loved and cared about each and every one of them. She touches their head. Each
Right.
and every one of them. What she wants to say to you is, I don't know what you wanted from your reading, but what she says, she has been around you a lot lately. And I feel that you have been very distorted and very pulled around of recent years.
Yes.
Okay. Now, she's quite straight talking. And she's come to the right lady, because that's the title of my show. But I will say to you, she says, you've got to sort your, she's like this, waggling her finger. You've got to sort yourself out, girl. We can't keep going through this because it's taking A, too much from you, but B, I just feel like you're barely treading water. Are you understanding this, Stacey?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. I feel what she's saying is you've got to stop. I feel like you've got to learn your lessons from whatever has been going on, and we've got to stop doing a continual cycle of what we've been doing. Because what she said is, this has been draining you, and we now need to get you sort of sorted out so that you can leap forward with your life, because you have been very pulled in so many different directions.
Yes, that is true.
You understand? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So she says, I'm here for you. You only have to ask. Now, it's interesting because you've come on this radio station today, and that's fabulous. But I feel that she's been trying to connect with you for quite a long time. So have you had any personal guidance or readings from anybody at all?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Interesting. Because I really think, I know she might give you some stuff on air, but I also think she'll be a little bit reserved about maybe some of the stuff she'd like to speak to you in person about. So what I want to say to you is, you don't have to, I'm not trying to tout for business. You don't have to come to me, but I would say to get yourself a private reading with someone, because I think your grandmother is going to set you right over certain things where I feel that you're still not 100% sure on.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I agree. It does.
Okay. But know that she's there for you, and she's always there for you. Can I ask you, did your father do off? That means left. Did he leave?
Did my father leave?
No, your dad. Your father.
My dad, did he leave?
Yeah.
My dad lives in Mississippi.
I didn't catch what you said, love. Your dad where?
My dad lives in Mississippi.
Yes, but I want to understand, when you were younger, did your dad leave? Your gran keeps showing me these children in her house, and I feel that your dad wasn't around. So was he just working away, or was he away totally?
My mom was away totally, but not my father. My father was always working now, but we always lived with our father. He lived with our grandparents.
Right, so your mum did off, yes?
Yes.
Sorry, I got them the wrong way around, but I knew somebody did off. I have to say, it all happened in a instant. You know, there was no build up to this. It was like the ground or the carpet was pulled from underneath the feet, and she just went. So there was like 1 minute was okay, and the next minute it wasn't. And I feel like your grandmother literally gathered everybody up and said, right, come on, just sit here now. Just sit here. I'll sort it out. And I think within days, if not weeks, your grandmother had everything sorted, and everybody was fed, watered, had a bed. It might not have been the right bed, but it was a bed. But what I'm saying is there was something made up for everybody. And it's almost as if she just dealt with it without panicking or anything. It's like, I'll sort it out for you.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you didn't have the best, because I do feel like, you children were like rabbits caught in a headlight, for want of a better way of putting it, like what's gone on here. But, and I'm not sure you've ever had a proper explanation for that. Have you spoken to your mum at all?
So my children?
No. Have you spoken to your mum?
My mom? Oh, yes, I have, but, only when I call her.
Yeah, I don't think you've had a proper explanation as to why she left, why she didn't keep in contact, or anything else at all from her.
Right.
And I think that has stayed with you. What your grandmother's trying to say is you didn't have the best of starts. That said, I think your grandmother did a cracking job on getting you sorted out. She's quite funny. She's got a good sense of humour. But she could be tough. She could be tough as well. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't argue with your grandmother. I'm not going to argue with her today, because I tell you what, she's a tough cookie. But she liked things. She liked things neat and orderly. She liked things done in a proper way, and it was her way or no way, certainly within that house.
That's right. That is right.
But everything
she did was out. I wonder if she knows I love her.
Oh my gosh. I love the way that she's come through. I have to say, she loves every hair on your head. So please don't worry about that. What she wants you to understand is, though, she has things that she wants to tell you that I don't think she wants to do with me today, because I'm on air. I think you would do yourself a favor to get a private reading with a good medium somewhere. I don't know, it has to be somebody you trust, or it doesn't have to. I don't want you to think I'm talking about me, because I'm not. It's got to be somebody you trust. It's got to be somebody that you feel can really get you the messages, because she said, there are things that I want to say to you, but I don't want to embarrass you on air.
Okay.
All right. And I think you're going to understand, but I think you need to understand that she's seen everything that has been going on, and she's definitely in your court. But I will say it's been a tough journey for you. And she wants you to move forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask you, do you smoke, Stacey?
Yes, I do.
She wants you to put the cigarette out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
She's like, you need to listen to me. She's really stroppy, but she's really in a nice way. She's like, you need to listen to me, girl. You can't be doing this. You got to put it out. Where's that going to get you? The other thing is your head is very muddled, my love. So this is why I'm saying a good reading, a good therapist, you could do maybe a bit of therapy to sort you out, because I feel that, certainly since your grandmother passed, you've been lost.
Right.
When did she pass, love?
Huh?
When did she pass, the spirit, your grandmother?
When did she pass? February 15th of 2015.
Yeah. I don't think you've been right since then. I'm not saying, you're off your head. I'm saying your grandmother says you haven't been right then because she meant so much to you that I still think you're going through the grief process for her passing. And because we're doing that, we make bad decisions and, not good decisions on other aspects of our life. But she loves you so much.
So true. I love her more than she'll ever know.
Okay, I'm going to say something. I feel a bit depressed in your house where you live.
Yeah.
I kind of need to get you out of that house. It feels like I'm depressed there. How long have you been there? Are you trying to move Because I think you need to.
Right.
She tells me the area or where you live is not good for you.
Okay.
Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, so what she said is you just need to be very brave, put a foot outside the door, and I'm going to help you with this. But I think she's waiting for you to be brave enough to move on.
Right, I understand that too.
Because here's what happens, Stacey. You go to put a foot out the door, and then you go, oh, no, I can't do that. I'm not brave enough. And then you go to do it again, and I'm not brave enough. And she goes, you are brave enough. And she's giving you a massive I don't think you have to go millions of miles away. That's not how I feel about it. I just felt the energy where you were is not good for you. I also feel it's funny, I've been doing about protection, that you've got negative people around you, Stacey. So again, we need to protect ourselves from those negative energies and those negative people that are holding you back and drawing you down rather than pushing you forward.
Right, I understand that. I can understand that completely.
Okay, she's also given me a health warning for your father. He needs to look after his health better. Do you know how your father is at the moment?
No, I don't, but I'm going to call him today.
Okay. He might not actually have anything wrong with him today, but I am telling you, it's a health message, and he needs to look after himself better than he does. Your father is very much a giver. I'm assuming this is his mum, is it?
Do what now? Say that one more time.
Is this his mother I'm talking to?
Whose mother?
Your dad's mother.
Yes, that's correct.
Because their energies are very similar. That's why I was saying I'm assuming it should. He's got very much your grandmother's energy in that he's a giver. He's I'll help you, I'll help you. And what she's saying is, but he needs to help himself first. And I don't think he is looking after himself. I really feel a little bit huffy and puffy with your dad. So again, I don't know if he smokes or if he's overweight I don't know. I just feel huffy and puffy with him. So what she's saying is he needs to look after himself better. And she's really funny. She said, if you tell him it's me that said it, he'll take some notice. And then she laughs and laughs. So he obviously took an awful lot of notice of his mother. But it's very important that you get that message to him. She's quite funny.
I will do that.
But she said, I think she's the one person he would take notice of.
Right. That is true.
Okay, Stacey, I want to understand, have you been in 2 big relationships or been married twice? She puts a ring on your finger, takes it off, puts another ring on your finger, but also takes it off.
Yes.
Twice you've been in 2 relationships and you're not together with them.
Nope, I'm single.
Good. Okay. That's where you need to be. I know that's a harsh message to give you, but that's exactly where you need to be at the moment, Stacey. So Spirit can do the work that they need to do with you to get you where you need to be.
Okay.
All right. But be brave, because go do your therapy, go have your reading, or whatever it is you're going to do, whatever you feel will help you. This is a very personal thing, but for goodness sake, don't do nothing at all. All right?
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to ask me? Your grandmother could go on for all night, and I haven't got all night. So, but she's just very, very forceful, because she's like on her little, what we call her high horse now, and she just wants to get on with things, because now that she's had this, what she calls a golden opportunity to speak to you. And as you haven't been to see anybody, my love, she's not had an opportunity to converse with you and tell you how to help you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And she said, it's almost like I really need to speak to her. So that's my message to you, is to please do that, Stacey. If you don't do it for me,
I want to.
You wouldn't be doing it for me. Do it for your grandmother and do it for yourself, won't you?
Right, I'm going to.
All right, my love. I'm going to leave her love with you, and I really hope that was okay and it helped you a little bit today. You've got a wonderful grandmother who I think is really funny, but also a tough cookie.
Right.
All right. I'll leave it with you, my love, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. You're very welcome. Please look after you, won't you?
Thank you, and you have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, so what a lovely lady, and a lovely grandmother. I have to say, what a funny spirit, but very strong lady, but that's lovely. Okay, so just to let you, if you want to connect with me, it's lesleycarverpsychicmedium.com. On my website, there's all the services I offer. The courses will be going up there. But as I say, if you're interested and would really like some information, and make sure you do receive information when it goes up to enroll, then please either email me at inquiries at lesleycarver.co.uk, or you can message me through Facebook at Lesley Carver Psychic Medium. Just dropped my ear. So it's been lovely speaking to you all again, and by the time I speak to you next week, Wimbledon will be over. But I look forward to speaking to you all soon, and have a fabulous week, and bye for now.